Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 Road to Glory series in 2020. Last time out, we had an absolute calamity of a race, but somehow still managed to get some points. Nearly 4 wide ahead as the car goes down the inside, and Hamilton there takes out 3 cars, and we've somehow come out with a double puncher. How on earth has that happened there? We're going to come through 1 lap down, having not overtaken a single soul properly for position, and we're going to get 9th place and 2 points. How about that? And those points might be very crucial because we're only a few points ahead of Pierre Gasly. We have another one of those races, and he takes the lead with only, 4 rounds to go, I think it is, as it stands. Mexico, USA, Brazil, and then the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So it very much is the very back end of the season, and it is crunch time for us as a team, as a, obviously, rivalry between myself and Gasly in the car. It seems like it's going to be a 2-horse race. Verstappen, technically, I think, is mathematically still in the fight for the championship, but he hasn't really been there in the last few rounds. It's all been about myself versus Gasly, and really, we've been tripping over ourselves a few times in the last few episodes, so I think it's time to have a, nice, calm, clean time here at Mexico. It's going to be a great circuit for us. That long main straight, you just know we're going to abuse that in qualifying and the race, so it's time to hopefully not have a crash in quali, not have a crash in the race, maybe keep all our 4 tires inflated this time and not be a lap down when we come across the line for some points maybe, but that's very, very wishful thinking. We are Williams after all. Like I said though, down that main straight going well into turn 1 as we cut onto qualifying here. Little bit understeery, I can't lie, through these next few corners. You can maybe see the lack of a front end there, but we're still somehow in P1 then ahead of the cars just behind us in this one-shot quali. I think that's Hamilton's racing point just behind us, but then a lock up on the front left and just a lack of momentum through the right-hander there drops us down to P5. We then gain some more positions though, so we're kind of jockeying for position in this one-shot. Gasly now looking strong and off the exit there, using the engine power to good use, and he's up into P1. We barrel into that left-hander, a little bit wide on the exit, but we get it through, and we get back up into first place, and we hold it through the last corner to the line, and it will be pole position at Mexico.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
It has been a long while since we've had a pole position in this career mode season, but there we have it ahead of, actually it's not Gasly, it's Leclerc in P2, Verstappen P3. Surprise, Gasly lost some time there in this stadium section. I could never make a mistake in the last sector. I never buckle under pressure. That's one thing you can guarantee with me. We get it way too hot under the collar, and we smashed it on the left-hand side. Moving on.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
I don't know, Jeff. I'm pretty sure the run to turn 1 at Mexico is pretty damn long. I don't know what you're talking. Maybe he's looking at a different circuit. That may explain many, many things of his characteristics over the years. If he's looking at the wrong mini-map, or, well, map rather in his case, in front of his eyes on the pit wall of what track we've got. But as usual, the strategy will be a one-stop from the soft tire to the medium tires. Fuel-wise won't be much of an issue, hopefully, with the upgrades we made. And hopefully, we just won't be making an early pit stop ready for 2 flat tires and a front wing change. There's no one ahead of us, so there's no way carbon fiber can come flying at us and give us a puncher at the get-go before we can get to turn 1. So here's hoping, but you just never know. Stranger things have occurred maybe in this series. It's race time then, and it's time to hopefully do better than we did last summer at the Japanese Grand Prix. We go towards then 5 red lights to the Mexican Grand Prix from pole position. We're underway. It's been a good start versus Leclerc there. Gasly in P4 though, already rocketing up into P2, that is, past Leclerc. He's now going to be side by side with us into turn 1. It's going to be 2 toothpaste sponsored cars going to turn 1 side by side for the race lead. Gasly's got a bit of contact, mate. We're going to try and get it down the inside. Yellow flags though behind us. We've nipped through and we're ahead in first place. Yellow flags, virtual safety car has been called out there. It's Magnus, I think that was, out of the Grand Prix. And hey, what? What on earth has gone on there? Gasly's just overtaken us under the virtual safety car. I was in first place very clearly when the yellow flags came out, and now the FIA won't let me re-overtake him. That seems a little bit sus. Just a little bit. How has he managed that? Gasly's finessed us. We're side by side. Oh, very close indeed on the restart then. Green flags, but now, in a blink of an eye, we've been finessed out of first place. We're down to second. Can we try and get the place back? Maybe, as we're going to try and move maybe on the outside if we can. So we had a little look to the inside, but instead switched it on the left. Long way around, little bit wide there on the curb. We're still side by side, though, through the entire stadium section. Gasly's there on our inside. He's got the much better line now for the last corner. So going to try and break a little bit earlier, tighten up. And to be fair, probably the better place to be from the two of us, because I can get a great toe off him and try and just get him easily in towards turn one. But absolutely baffling stuff there to see Gasly overtake us under full, well, not full yellows, but pretty much full yellows. Virtual safety car. You're not allowed to overtake in those situations. I don't know how he managed that. I was braking to make sure I was within the delta time, and whilst doing that, he kind of, obviously took advantage of that. We haven't been able to get him into turn one either now here, so the battle continues on now towards lap number 2 in sector 2. He's going to go defensive. Can we make a move on the outside? It's a bit of a late lunge. It's lock up from him, and we nearly make some contact there. We now go defensive against Leclerc, so it's all kicking off here, but this is the first real time in a while that myself and Gasly have gone toe-to-toe in both Williams cars, let alone also for the race lead as well. So great to see, but right now not so great in terms of I can't seem to get the first place bagged and sorted. Maybe now I will, as we're trying round the outside this time of turn one. It'll turn to the inside for the next turn. Can we try and get the elbows out? We're trying our best, but Gasly once again is there. But no, he actually gets on the curb on the inside there, unsettles the car, and so we're up into first place. But you can see, look at that, he's pretty much pushing us through down that straight, and we go defensive to try and protect the position there. He gets the switchback move done. Virtual safety car is out again, and Gasly's made contact with us and overtaken us again. How is it? And we've now got a penalty. Are you actually kidding me? FIA, this is unacceptable. What is going on? He's overtaken me twice under 2 virtual safety cars, and this time he's hit me and damaged my front wing. This cannot be. This cannot stand. I will not accept this. We're gonna. Oh look, just look. You didn't see nothing. What happened there was none of my business. It didn't happen to my screen. I'm not playing online, but it didn't happen. What you saw there was a bit of tactical driving, let's say, to even the playing field. So yeah, I've got some damage. He's got some damage. We're now going to come in and serve that 5-second penalty for when he hit us and broke our front wing, which makes a lot of sense. So you can see the FI didn't give a penalty for me hitting him, and they give one for him hitting me. So you can see they've clearly shared whatever Claire usually smokes at most of these Grand Prix when she asks me random questions in the interview stages, because they don't know what they're doing. They're clearly got their eyes a little bit squinted and they don't know what they're seeing out there, because I don't know how I've got the penalty there. I don't know how. I look back for a split second to see what was going on with the virtual safety car. The next minute I look forward and Gasly's 1 overtaking me and 2 hitting me as he does it and breaking my front wing. So here we are in last place once again early on in the Grand Prix. Thankfully, though, we're not 1 lap down, but it's still not ideal, obviously. But now we have to go to the end of this Grand Prix on this set of medium tyres, so that's not an issue. Obviously, the main issue will be we've lost, about, 8 seconds in the pit stop, having, first we had to wait 5 seconds to actually do the pit stop, and then also change the front wing. So we've lost a lot of time. We need to try and gain that back, whilst also having probably tyre wear later on in this Grand Prix. But here is Gasly then with that front wing damage in first place, ahead of the Ferraris, but the Ferrari may just make a move here. Around the outside he goes. So with the damage here, this is payback here, and it's karma for us to see him being overtaken by the Ferrari there. So at least maybe he's going to be slow. He's going to have to change the front wing. The only thing that he's not going to have, obviously, though, is a 5-second penalty unjustly given to him for a pit stop. But now, oh no, oh yes, oh my god, yes! Pierre Gasly's got an issue. He's retired. That's karma, baby. That's karma. Look at that. Pierre Gasly out of the Grand Prix. You love to see it. Oh my word. What a roller coaster of an episode this has been. Oh, it's gone from horrendous to absolutely biblical, I tell you. Absolutely biblical. They won't believe it in the church. This is amazing. So, we're P18, but watch this. Through the last corner, P17 GASLY out the Grand Prix. Thank you very much. And now we just go about our business. I don't even care where our position is. We just have to do the best job we can. But any job is going to be good enough to get some points over GASLY. Absolutely amazing. So up into P14 then. Obviously, everyone else making their pit stops now, so it's a case of just running through our race and getting those positions once they make their pit stop. But you can see lap 10, and only now are the main amount of people coming in for their pit stop. So you can see how early I had to pit. So we're going to try and get a bit of a cheeky kind of a 1 second toe there off Norris, trying to squeeze out the performance to the max here in this Grand Prix. You can see ahead of us is Verstappen, so we've definitely lost, I think, at least minimum 3-4 positions in this Grand Prix then with that pit stop we had to make with the penalty with the front wing change. So that's fair enough, but if we can be around P5, P6, that's still so many points ahead of GASLY with 0, and we're only 6 points ahead of GASLY, so adding on like a tally of 10 or 12 will be absolutely massive for us going into the last 3 rounds of this championship as we now move on to lap number 13. Purple first sector for us with DRS assistance there, closing up to Raikkonen. Now we try and make a move on the Iceman in the Racing Point car. It goes very defensive though. He's on the hard tyres, so I should be able to actually get him, even though I'm facing some tyre wear, but he's putting up a good defensive drive here through the stadium section. Can't really do too much, having to kind of wait around through the last corner. You can see very awkward stuff there for him as kind of effectively brake checks me through that apex, but we're going to just be patient, open DRS up now, overtake mode, rich mix there, and it should be a very easy overtake in a straight line, and we're up into P5. So like I said, if we're going to finish out here, I very much wouldn't mind, you know. I mean, that's fine by me, but we're actually catching Verstappen a little bit there. We go a little bit deep into turn 1, but we are indeed catching Verstappen, who's also on hard tyres. Don't know why, because obviously he pit so late compared to myself. I would understand if I went onto hard tyres. I don't know why Verstappen has gone onto hard. So for some reason the Red Bull team not looking like they are fancy their chances with the tyre wear. And so with that we go waltzing round very easily here. We go toe-to-toe trying to squeeze him out on the left-hand side, but we get the job done. And so up into P4. So the only other man in the championship hunt with me is has been overtaken. So we're going to score points not only on GASLY, who's had a DNF, but also on Verstappen. And so we move through onto lap number 16, closing up to the Ferraris there. Vettel versus Leclerc. Maybe oh, there's an issue for Vettel! Oh, Lord, no, it's all coming up aarava here as we go on the left-hand side. Dodge Vettel, very dangerous stuff there. That could have been a calamity. We dodge him, though, and so Vettel goes up in smokes, and so we're going to get a podium after all of this. Absolutely wonderful. This is insanity. This makes up for all the bad luck we got last episode, and so here we come across the line for a podium at the Mexican Grand Prix.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
And I really wish I could be happy with the race, but in classic Road to Glory, River to Glory, Williams style, of course something had to go wrong, and of course tragedy had to befall our race, because the game broke. Of course it did. It was such a wonderful Grand Prix, and of course the game had to break. So you can see right here, we're loading back up the Mexico race. It didn't get saved, and so that entire roller coaster of a race like we had is just not there. So these are the actual results we're going forward with. Carlos Sainz won the Grand Prix in McLaren. The only good thing here is myself and GASLY had 0 points because I DNF'd because I retired at the Grand Prix. There's no way I was going to redo that one. I mean, going through that race once in the Williams car was enough. Okay, thank you very much. But thankfully, GASLY also DNF'd. So in the end of it, it could have been a lot worse. He could have scored a win, and I could have got 0 points, and so he would have unfairly got 25 points on me. I've still got to be pissed off about it, because effectively, this entire thing has meant that I don't have the advantage anymore that I just gained. I would have gained, what was that, 10, 12, no, 18, 15 points, sorry. 15 points on him, and now that's not the case. So, once again, Pierre Gasly has finessed me in the F1 game. It seems like just an inevitable thing. So yeah, that was that episode. Please give me a like, because otherwise I will just cry after that entire thing. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and if you share my disgust at the FIA's finessing today, and GASLY's in both senses, in the race and also with the game breaking. And if you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content and another chance to see me rage in a Williams car very soon, I'm sure. Yeah, thanks F1 game. I really enjoyed recording that one and then having it fail. Yeah, cool. All right, goodbye.